Hello and welcome to a brand new developer diary for Crusader Kings 3. This is number 7, Characters and Portraits. So this is good. This is what I've been wanting for a while now because the portraits have been something that I wanted to see more of. It's a very interesting technology, and I guess now we're going to get a little bit more in depth of them. And obviously characters being the defining feature of a Crusader Kings game, learning more about them is always going to be welcome. So let's just dive right in. Let me see here. This girl looks an awful lot like Greta Thunberg, which is kind of funny, but yeah, moving on. Greetings. Today we're looking at what makes up a character in CK3. As you already know, the game revolves around characters and all the things they get up to. So to make it interesting, we have to make sure that they have as much personality as possible. To start off, each character still has skills and traits, just like in CK2. Their skills determine how well they can do different things. A character with high diplomacy will be well liked, while one with high martial will excel as a commander. The main source of these skills are traits, the foremost of which is the personality traits. All that seems fairly, similar, just like CK2. Unlike CK2, where personality traits were much like any other trait, we've decided to put more emphasis on the personality traits in CK3. In CK2, you could easily just end up with 5 to 8 personality traits without much effort. But then, what really defined you? It was hard to get a grip on who a character really was, something we've improved in CK3. Personality traits now have massive effect on the behavior of each individual character, so when a character is greedy, you'll really feel it. To emphasize this, characters tend not to have more than 3 personality traits, so you can, at a quick glance, tell who they are. Other types of traits are, of course, still unlimited. This definitely kind of ties into the characters. Like, if we scroll back up here, one thing they said about the characters was that looking at the portraits, you could kind of see at a glance what kind of person they were. So, for instance, a proud character might be, have his shoulders back and arms crossed and looking proud and kind of thing. So, limiting it to 3 personality traits certainly would help in that regard, because adding more than that, you're not really going to be able to see what the character is personality-wise. Although with these, I can't tell, but I think that'll probably come in time. You'll be able to pinpoint specific kind of characteristics of their pose that will be, okay, so that character is this kind of thing, zealous or whatever. So yeah, that makes sense. I like it. It's good. So these, I guess, are the personality traits. And yeah, I'm not going to try and... Chaste. This one's chastity. This is a chastity belt. This is chaste. Alright, fair enough. Probably greedy, gluttonous, wrath, zealous, lustful, lazy, coward, proud. That's a lion, proud. Something to do with... I don't know. Likes being friends, games master probably. Oh no, this is ambitious, because this is a pawn and it's the shadow of a king. Yeah, that's ambitious. This is fun, trying to see what is what. No idea. Some secretive, perhaps? Loyal? No idea. No idea. Now that's interesting. That could also be zealous. No idea what that is though. That's an olive branch, so probably something to do with diplomacy. Flowers, no idea. Scholarly. Drunkard? Oh no, this is playful. Oh, these are children's traits, because that's a child. This would be playful, because that's a bucket on top of a door. So when somebody opens a door, whatever's in the bucket will fall on them. So I think these are the children's traits, if they're split up like that. Yeah, I like it. These are really cool pieces of art. I like it. Personality trait icons. Can you guess which one is which? I beat you to it. We've also added in a feature where a character's personality is summed up in 2 words, which is then displayed in their character view. This is very useful, for example, when assigning vassals or getting agents. A rapacious blackguard might not make the most loyal vassal, but quite a good agent, while an honourable empath would be quite the opposite. We've got fearless ravener, an irrational craven, a callous antagonist, a spineless atheist. Wow, I feel attacked. Prestige and piety remain in CK3, though with a new element to them. In CK2, you accumulated prestige that you then spent on various things. This rarely made much sense. Why would launching an invasion suddenly make everyone like you less, for example? Therefore, we've decided to split the currency part of prestige and piety from the perception part. In CK3, all prestige and piety accumulated by a character will contribute towards their level of fame or devotion. These have various effects. For example, your level of fame increases the opinion of all secular rulers. Yeah, that makes sense. I like it. Give you more knights and unlock special interactions, such as invasions should you be tribal. Your level of devotion increases the opinion of the clergy and allows you to declare better holy wars, among other things. Ooh, I like that. Having high devotion, giving you, I guess, better CBs. That's pretty cool. These levels range between 0 and 5, with 0 representing disgrace. Instead of only losing prestige when doing truly dishonorable things, such as breaking a truce, you now also lose levels of fame, making the whole thing more of a hard choice. Accumulated prestige and piety can also be used for various things as a currency, just like in CK2, prestige being used for vassal interactions, decisions, and war, while piety is the primary resource when interacting with the church. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, the way I saw prestige and piety in CK2, I didn't see them as a mana resource, because they still made sense in a way. So take prestige, for example. You could use your prestige to raise troops, and that made you less prestigious. And on the surface, that seems like, oh, you're just spending a currency to get a thing, and it didn't make much sense. But the way it was explained to me by somebody who really did not consider it mana and convinced me, is that the people that you are recruiting, you're less prestigious because you're having to get people on side. You're, oh, look at me, I'm so famous, come and join me on my quest thing. And then the next group of people that would join you on your, like, not really a quest, but like an invasion, for example, they're going to be less inclined to do it because, well, those guys already helped you. Whereas if you had more prestige, then they would also be willing to come and help you. He explained it much better than I just did, but it convinced me anyway. Anyway, level of fame. Exalted among men. Nice. So we've got the titles of... this was a mission thing that we wanted to do in CK2. Not mission, I can't even remember what they're called now. You know what I mean. Everyone who's played CK2 has done this. That's the one where you get enough prestige and then you become exalted among men. Yeah, makes sense. Before moving on to the portraits themselves, I'd like to mention genetic traits. Sorry, genetic, not generic. Traits such as strong and genius were very much sought after in CK2, and you'd often went out of your way to breed those traits into your direct line. Or in my case, I'd get them, and then they would never appear again. I very rarely got these genetic traits to actually pass down through my dynasty. That was something I was never good at. In CK3, this is even more involved, with genetic traits having multiple levels that you can also improve with successive generations, which can be sped up by inbreeding. Nice! Incest is wincest. There's also more of them. Genetic traits will often have a visual effect on your portrait. The beautiful liner traits will make your characters more and more symmetrical, for example. On the negative end of the spectrum, we have traits such as ugly or albino, which will reduce symmetry or alter your character's skin tone respectively. The Middle Ages were full of prejudice. Naturally. Now, without further ado, let's move on to the portrait section, hosted by our very own portrait artist, Niels. So when it comes to the visual presentation of characters in the game, we've chosen to switch out the 2D paper doll style portraits of CK2 for fully animated 3D characters in CK3. While the portraits in CK2 undeniably have their charm, going 3D just gives us so many more possibilities for all kinds of dynamic features. Every character has a DNA in which their appearance is defined. Each facial feature that we can control has its own gene, and there's a great number of those to give us a lot of variations and an endless amount of possible faces. For example, the nose alone has over 10 different parameters that define its shape. Compare that to just one in CK2. Another thing we wanted to change is how much of the character we display in the UI. This is, of course, the Middle Ages we're talking about, where a person's clothes are a more important indicator of who they are than even their facial features. So it made sense to show off more of the body than just the head and shoulders. How fancy and expensive a character's clothing looks will give you as a player information about their rank. The larger frame also allows us to show different animated poses, and Alex mentioned above they will hint at a character's personality. Additionally, we can do more with body types as well. Characters who have different heights, yes, including dwarfism and gigantism, as well as different weights and body composition, something that is affected by their lifestyle and traits. So if your character has a gluttonous hedonist, chances are they will have a body rather on the stout side of things, while if they're a legendary warrior, their pecs and deltoids will also likely be of the legendary variety. Of course. Yeah. Well, like I say, we've got these characters from above as well, again. So the Greta Thunberg character is an irrational zealot. I guess this is lazy. This must be like zealot. I'm not sure. I think I definitely called the fat guy this gluttonous trait. Maybe this was greedy. I'm not sure. No, this must be a... They said you can only have 3 traits, but these guys have 4, whereas the children only have 3. So I think this is, especially with the stars here, this is your education trait. So yes. And this guy's 5, so this might be like Holy Warrior kind of thing. Harold II Godwinson. Was he a Holy Warrior though? I don't know. But damn, he's good martial. This was always arbitrary, the dice. If he's a Holy Warrior... Actually, no, it doesn't say that, does it? Where did I see Holy Warrior? Oh, maybe... No, it was this, wasn't it? Right. Trying to figure out what some of the other ones are then. Maybe this one... God damn it. Maybe this one here is like indecisiveness? Because, you know, you can go this way or you can go this way. I don't know. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I will say, though, a lot of people have commented about the clothing, and I said in the previous video that I thought some of the clothing was a little bit plasticky, and you can especially see it on Harold Godwinson. A lot of people commented that this might just be because he's wearing silk, and as he's a king, then that definitely does make sense if he would have silk on. It just doesn't look like silk to me. It just looks like a yellow bin bag. I really hate that it looks like a yellow bin bag, but it does. I really like Princess Sviatoslava's clothes. Her clothes look awesome. Countess Volthild's pretty good. I like the cowl thing she's got. That looks fucking awesome. A little bit plasticky on like the wrinkles in her elbow, but otherwise looks great. Dermot MacDonchad looks great. Cecilia de Normandy looks great. And Aid McNeil, yeah, looks great. Most of the... I guess it's just... It must be because it's silk. Or a finer clothing material. That it's making it look this plastic. It just doesn't... That doesn't look good. The king's clothes should look the best, and... Honestly, on this screen of these 8 characters, the king's clothes look the worst out of all of them. And I wish that wasn't the case, but that's just the way I feel. Anyway, yeah, let's move on then. Other cool features that the 3D system allows us to do is seamless aging and disease overlays. Now you can see your toddler gradually change into an adult, and eventually, barring any unforeseen incidents, to an elderly 100-year-old. Should your character, heavens forbid, catch a serious illness, their appearance will reflect that with suitably repulsive skin texture overlays. We'll have more in-depth look at the portraits in a future dev diary, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, so that's the dev diary, and I definitely think it was another... stonker. I love it. It was definitely fun to try and guess these. And then looking at these characters here, I mean, the turban looks quite silky. But otherwise, I like everything about it apart from just it's too shiny. Like this guy here on the left, Earl Aid McArt, right? His clothes look fancy, but they don't look silky, right? They look good. It doesn't look as plasticky as the Kings did. Duke Ordulf's clothes look fine, look great. And then Emir Jafar ibn Khalib also looks very plasticky. I mean, it is all about the reflections, and I guess silk does reflect more, but I don't know. I don't know, it just doesn't look maybe as good as it possibly could. But anyway, that's that. That is that. We have some dev comments to read, so let's hop on over to the forums and scroll down so we can have a look at some of the developer comments. How easily will one gain or lose personality traits? If these traits are now so definitive of characters, I hope a random event will not see us change personality drastically. It's very hard to change your personality, and random events will never do it. There are a few ways you can alter your personality slowly over time, and depending on how you play your character, stress might also have an impact. I'll not go into details on that yet though. Stress, if you want to know a basic overview of what stress is, go and look for the interview that I did with Hendrik and... oh shit, I forgot his name. I did the interview at PDXCon with the CK3 guys, and they talk about stress in there, but a basic overview is if you do actions that are against what your personality traits are, you will gain stress. And you have 5 levels of stress. The more stress you get, the more painful it is. Like the first level of stress, it's not that stressful, it's something you can deal with, something you can cope with. Next level of stress, maybe you turn to drink to try and cope with it. And then like at level 5, you're getting like, lunacy. So that's a basic overview of stress, but I guess we're going to go into that a bit deeper soon. We'll be able to customize character outfits, haircuts, and stuff. There will exist a barbershop where you can customize hair, facial hair, and clothes to a limited degree hair color, but no outlandish colors. Was dyeing hair a thing in the Middle Ages? I don't know. What is the should be naked trigger thing that showed up a few weeks ago supposed to be for? Its primary use is for certain religious sects. Alright, so we're going to have nudist religions. Nice. It seems like stats can go pretty high though. Emir Dafir has a skill of 24, though most seem to have their skill in the teens. I think anything above a 20 should really be an outlier, not as common as was in CK2. Skill values are still subject to change. Don't pay too much attention to their current values. They're more than likely going to change. Fair enough. Could you tell us what represents the small heart beside the age and name? Yellow and green. It's their overall health. It's fairly abstracted. You'll never be able to tell exactly when a character is going to die. Give me this for Imperator, please. But it will give you an indication. A very ill character might have a black shriveled heart, for example. I love this. This is fantastic. I love that so much. Because in CK2, you could see this character has cancer and diphtheria and lover's pox and all these kinds of horrible plagues and diseases with massive negative 13% health, and you saw none of it until they popped their clogs. You just knew it was coming. But yeah, I love that. This is fantastic. I like it. I want this for Imperator, please. Are genetic traits invisible or visible? They are visible, though characters can also carry recessive traits. Those are not visible, but can be inherited by their offspring. Oh, fuck yes, that's awesome. That's really, really nice to see. The trait icons look beautiful, but I'm not sure how easily readable they're going to be. CK2's icons were sometimes difficult to interpret without a tooltip the first time you saw them. Once you learned the icons, you could easily recognize them as they're high contrast and easy to read. I think that is still the case with the new ones, honestly. Yeah, I don't know what they are right now, but I still think they're distinct enough that you're going to be able to notice them after, your 50 hours of playing. These I'm not so sure about, but then again, MMO players have been dealing with pretty splotches of color for icons, blah blah blah. After playing with them for a while, I can say you learn what they are quite quickly, and the colors also help a lot with recognizability. Yeah, exactly. You can just check the colors. That's fine. Would you mind sharing a rough percentage of how correct my guesses are? 25 out of 40. Alright, let's see what he's guessed. Deceitful, diligent, greedy, opposite of patient, but wrath exists. Stubborn, celibate, yeah, obviously. Just, yeah, I didn't catch that one. I should have. Patient, yes. Arbitrary, I thought it was arbitrary, but then the dice is really arbitrary in it. Cynical in the clouds? Nah, I don't think that is it. Lustful, or to be temperate. Yeah, no, temperate would work for this one because of, you know, pushing the goblet away. Yeah, makes sense. Charitable, yeah. Frail, maybe. Wrath. Zealous, yeah. Slothful, yes. Humble or honest, I think that's probably humble. Craven, I guess that. Brave, yes. Shy, yep. I should have guessed that one. Gregarious, yep. Ambitious, yes. Content, yeah, the bowl is the same as before. Arbitrary, yep. Cruel, probably not. Proud, maybe. Paranoid, definitely. Trusting, yes. Kind, yes. Envious, Temperate, no. Don't know. Groomed, no. Chaste. You think that looks like a cock ring, don't you? Filth. This is definitely playful, though. That more looks like a magnifying glass, for fuck's sake. Why would you think this was chaste? What's wrong with you? Anyway, that's the goddamn dev diary. There you go, you can have a look at this beautiful picture. That's the dev diary. I think it was a good one. I would love to know what you guys think, so please do let me know in the comment section below what you think. And also, with these traits, let me know what you think all of these are as well. Do you agree with the ones I picked out, and do you have any idea what this one might be? Because, I mean, this is a whip. It's a self-flagellation kind of whip, so that's what that is. This one's like murderous, I guess, because he's like... whatever, I'm not going to go back into it anyway. But if you want to have a guess at this, so download this picture from the dev diary. The link will be in the description below. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.